Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you to those who support this channel in one way or the other. And if you are watching us for the first time, kindly hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Let me begin this analysis by asking a very simple question. Do we still have true sons and daughters or grandsons and granddaughters of the freedom fighters who still remain alive? Do we still have any of them? I'm asking this because I have seen leaders bragging around that they are the sons and daughters of Mau Mau freedom fighters. But as you begin to answer that question, the lady on your screen is called Muthoni wa Kirima. That grandma is the widow to the former field marshal and freedom fighter Dedan Kimathi, and she also forms part of the Women League and the women wing of the Mau Mau freedom fighters who are still alive today. Now, the grandma or Madam Muthoni is hitting headlines again, of course for the good reasons. The last time she grabbed headlines was when she was sick and she was treated in one of the hospitals in Nairobi, and she was detained because she could not meet her bills. And of course, after a push and pull, and Kenyans went to social media blaming the government that we have neglected our freedom fighters, the government decided to clear the bill. Of course, William Ruto sent Rigathi Gachagua, who cleared that bill. But today, Muthoni is grabbing headlines for another reason, because Mama Margaret Ngina Kenyatta did something wonderful in her life. It is reported that Mama Ngina Kenyatta clears Kenya shillings 4.7 million loan and buys a house for Field Marshal Muthoni wa Kirima. In a nutshell, Mama Kirima had got some pending loans that had accumulated to 4.7 million Kenyan shillings. So after listening to her predicaments, Mama Ngina decided to clear this loan. Not only that, but she also went ahead and purchased a house, a 3-bedroom house for Mama Muthoni. Kenyans went to social media applauding Mama Ngina for such a wonderful gesture to the family of the Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi. Now, they decided to appreciate and reciprocate what Mama Ngina had done by sending a delegation that also included Madam Muthoni in that picture that you see there. They just wanted to appreciate Mama Ngina, and they carried some token of appreciation. They had 4 goats, 2 young ones and 2 mature. There was also another portrait of Mama Ngina there, and they showered Mama Ngina with a lot of praises. Mama Ngina received back the gesture, and she made a speech there. One of the things that she said that I want us to look at, this is what Mama Ngina said, that on her part, Mama Ngina expressed gratitude to Kirima for her appreciation and her contribution towards the country. She further called on Kenyans not to take the country for granted and asked the current leadership to ensure peace and stability. And Mama Ngina added that Kirima was a real hero, unlike some leaders who went around the country claiming they were all related to freedom fighters. That speech by Mama Ngina and that quote there really speaks volumes. And this is coming at a time when Kenya is in turmoil, and there have been discussions that around freedom fighters, and it is said that Kenyans have neglected their freedom fighters. There was a time when there was this argument of who is really a freedom fighter. And that's why I started by asking, do we have real freedom fighters that are still remaining? And of course, you will all agree with me that Madam Muthoni wa Kirima is categorized, or is in the category of those who fought for the freedom of our nation, the freedom of acquisition of land from the colonial masters. Mama Ngina really wanted to expose the hypocrisy of Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, and people like Kimani Ichung'wah, who have been going around claiming that they are real sons of Mau Mau. And that is why Mama Ngina was saying that there are certain leaders who go around saying that they are related to freedom fighters, yes, yet when we look at them critically, they are not. Because when they say that they're true sons of Mau Mau, they only say that when they want to defend themselves against Raila's call for mass actions. And Rigathi has always used this by saying that as a true son of Mau Mau, he cannot be intimidated by Raila Amolo Odinga, and Raila will not get into a handshake. But Mama Ngina was portraying another side of real sons and daughters of freedom fighters. Because if you're a real freedom fighter, you don't need to take your courage as a freedom fighter or as a son of a freedom fighter fighting Raila Amolo Odinga in the streets. You first need to look at those who fought for your land. And I think she wanted to expose Rigathi Gachagua as a man who speaks loud, but actions are very little. Because they have completely forgotten the family of Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi. And so Mama Ngina went and paid 4.7 million shillings and went further to buy a home. So between Mama Ngina and Rigathi Gachagua, who keeps on saying that as a true son of Mau Mau, he cannot be intimidated by Raila Amolo Odinga, and Mama Ngina was gone ahead to purchase a home for Madam Muthoni and has also cleared her bill, who is a true son or daughter of Mau Mau. The memories of the Northland farm invasion also came in handy. This is coming against the backdrop of goons that were led by Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Ndindi Nyoro to go and invade Uhuru's land, Kenyatta family's land. And it was reported that the family lost about 70 million Kenya shillings, courtesy of the animals that were carried away, the special type of the sheep, because each sheep is recorded to be going at 50,000 Kenyan shillings. And Rigathi Gachagua has continued to claim that Uhuru Kenyatta neglected the Mount Kenya family. And he even claimed that Uhuru Kenyatta was captured by Raila Amolo Odinga and he was taking all the developments to maybe Kisumu and Nyanza and western part of the country. But Mama Ngina was trying to show them something, magnanimity and forgiveness. Despite the fact that they went and invaded her farm, she was still generous enough to go and rescue one of the families to alleviate poverty. She lost 70 million shillings, but she decided to use part of her wealth to help her family, so that these people can know that whatever is being said about the Kenyatta family is not a true reflection. Because if she was such a bad woman, she could not accept to help any family after what had happened to her. But she decided to help and show them that life is about reciprocating ill with good. Those who invaded her farm can now see that she's not such a selfish lady, and a family as been portrayed by Rigathi Gachagua and the team, and I think they have really been humiliated. And Mama Ngina is also doing this to caution Kenyans, because in her speech she was saying that we really need to be very careful. I think she's reminding Kenyans of where we have come from and the gains that we have acquired since we started fighting for freedom from the colonial masters, fighting for our land, fighting for our autonomy during the first liberation when we fought the colonial masters, and the second liberation when we fought the one-party state, the Nyayo era, and we fought and acquired a new constitution. Because we are at a time when we're looking at a government that is taking us back to the Nyayo era. They do not recognize our constitution. Just the other day, there was a draft that was introduced by Kimani Ichung'wah that gives the president powers to control funds within the county level. The 47 counties, if this bill passes through, governors will lose autonomy of introducing any levies and taxes. Before they do anything, they have to request for permission from the National Treasury, basically from William Samoei Ruto. And we are looking at a president who did not support this new constitution, and he is trying to do anything to really mutilate the constitution. And this is what Mama Ngina is trying to remind people. By selecting and choosing a freedom fighter, she is reminding Kenyans that we have gained a lot and we should not allow ourselves to go back to the dark days. And I think the last one, Mama Ngina is only trying to remind this administration that we have forgotten our freedom fighters. And by extension, she is just telling them not to forget or to try and intimidate freedom fighters and the first founding fathers like the Kenyatta family. They invaded their farm. They have accused them of not paying taxes. They don't have respect for the founding fathers of this nation. They don't have respect for freedom fighters. And I think on this, Mama Ngina has really gained, and it is a good thing doing that. And Muthoni wa Kirima, our grandma, is also going to stay in a better house, and we pray that God gives her even a long life. We continue to have our freedom fighters. We continue to have our grandmummies and grandfathers.